evening, everyone. Good evening. So I'm Dr. Gina Ross. I'm a native of Minneapolis, Minnesota. I reside in Platte City, Missouri. So I have some notes just to give you on track, so I don't want to take a lot of time. I have a master's in public administration. I have a PhD in public policy and administration, because people always ask, what's your doctorate in? What's your doctorate of? Public policy and administration. I graduated with honors. I have worked as a caring community site coordinator with the local investment commission, that's LINC, that's in Kansas City, working with families, schools, and community stakeholders. I have worked as a constituent services representative for former U.S. Senator Claire McCaskill. I've also worked for the Missouri Department of Correction, and I'm presently an associate professor of business at Kansas City, Kansas Community College, and I teach American government as well. I know that I am qualified to be the next U.S. Senator of Missouri. If elected, I will be the first Black woman and person ever to represent all persons of Missouri in that elected office. That's history. I will also be the first Black woman to be a United States Senator. This has been a tremendous experience for me to be in Missouri's congressional primary nominee in 2020, and now number 2 on the ballot for August 2nd, 2022. My ancestors have gone through, but we're starting to make a little progress. Candidate suppression, it is real. I'm a candidate that is like a good prescription that the doctor will prescribe to help you, but some people refuse to accept it. I know that I am more than enough to represent you and all Missourians. Seemingly, public opinion and money is the driving factors for campaigns, and sometimes some of these people that win, they forget about you after you vote for them. You're an afterthought. So it's like, do you want someone that's going to represent you? Do you? Yeah. Then that's what you need to vote your conscience. So, I'm sorry. I want you to vote. I'm just so off right now. I'm sorry. But I'm a human being, so I can own up to that. I'm real. I keep it real. I don't have to wait for anybody. What you say, that's who I am. I'm not going to sit up here and act like, no. I'm human. I make mistakes, and it is what it is. But I keep on pushing no matter what. Yeah. All right. I want your vote to ensure that you are represented with democracy. That's representation, participation, and emancipation. That means that you need to participate as well, because we're all in this together. Treating all people with dignity and respect. Medicare for all, healthcare is a human right. Education is, I'm an educator, that's Piper is. And there's some in this room. Education, it should be quality, affordable education for all students. It shouldn't be based off of you live in this area, you live in this area. If you're in the metropolitan area, if you're in the suburb, if you're in a rural area, your education needs to be the same. Yeah. Point blank period. Voting rights should not be suppressed. It shouldn't be. This is absurd in this day and time. But economic development, infrastructure, climate change, criminal justice reform, and sustainable communities, and so much more is what I will represent. Whatever your needs are, that's what means something to me. That's why I'm running. It's because you matter. It's time out for business as usual. You say you want change, talking shit. This is the truth, you say, right? Right? Am I right? Don't vote against 100% representation for yourself or your loved one's future based upon, other things. You need to vote your conscience, because you're setting yourself up for the same result, and that is what I call insanity. So people will tell you anything again to get your vote, but it's up to you to make a change. Some elected officials, they don't have your best interests at heart. It's time out for bias and bigots and people that have their own personal agendas and abusive power, holding back on things that concern you and your loved ones. It's us, it's we the people, and it's not being paid attention to, it's not being a priority. I dare to be different. I'm running to pave the way for change. My win doesn't have to look like anybody else's win. If I don't win, that's okay. The only way I fail is by not trying, but I'm still a winner. If it's one of my opponents, I'm okay with that. I will support him. The other day, I was finding back because I was reading some stuff where people were talking about none of us were qualified as candidates to run. And so I tweeted back on behalf of all of us. Okay, well, if you don't think that we're good enough, then you get on the ballot and you show us how it's done. Or don't say nothing about that. Get help from us because we don't want to hear that. People have so much to say instead of trying to help us and encourage us. They try to put us down and try to nitpick everything apart. But again, it's like, then you run and you do the part. And they're not going to do that. So I support my candidates even because we're in this together. It's not like, oh, you're my opponent, so I can't talk to you or I can dog you out. No. Simple as that. Like I said, we're better together. So it's time for us to work together, not against each other. I'm asking you to become politically mature. Seeing things for yourself, participate. This is a job that not one person can do. We can't do it alone, so you got to do your part. I am in trouble. I missed my name today. I just look young. I don't look like what I've been through. Okay. I am a COVID survivor. I survived COVID, but I'm going to take my seat. I was rushing because I know I had like 2 minutes and I didn't want to go over my time. But before I can sit down, some of y'all know I just love entertainment as well. So we are the world. Clap your hands. We are the world. We are the one. Right there. So let our live. Let's make a better state and vote for me. Are you ready?
Make a better state. Spencer Toder, please.
I promise you won't have to hear me sing. That's how I'll learn your vote. I'm Spencer Toder, I'm running for U.S. Senate. And I guess for starters, thank you to the host committee. Thank you for putting this great event on. Thank you for taking the time to honor those we've lost to COVID. That's near and dear to my heart. Last January, we lost my grandmother to COVID-19 the weekend she was supposed to be vaccinated. We lost her on my parents' anniversary, and as I watched her pass away on a Zoom call, I thought to myself, there are people in this country who are going without health care. There are people in this country who don't have someone looking out for them. There are people in this country who don't have access to a hospital near their home. And the next day, I told my family I was running for U.S. Senate. I have a 2-year-old son, his name's Avery. And when my wife and I sat in our house during the heart of COVID, we were just saying, what is the future going to look like? What are we going to do to make sure that he has all the opportunity in the world? What are we going to do to make this world a better place for him? We determined the best possible thing that we could be spending our time on was me running for U.S. Senate. With Roy Blunt stepping down, with the Republican Party in shambles, not representing any specific values, but rhetoric and hate and division, we have an incredibly unique opportunity. We have what I believe is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to take a state that has been trending red for 20 years and to flip it blue. Now, I'm confident we can do that, but I'm confident that the only way we can do that is by building trust. The voters of this state, the Show Me state, need to know what we stand for. We can't advertise that to them. We can't tweet it to them or put it on Facebook, however Just Hyper might be able to. But what we can do is we can make people's lives better. And so I've spent every day of this campaign. I announced my candidacy on May 4th of last year. And I spent every day of this campaign working to make the lives of Missourians better. In that time, we've raised $50,000 for Afghan refugees and filled 2 storage containers full of supplies that we gave the International Institute to help those who came over who helped us in war. We've fed 200 hot meals that we had cooked by a Syrian refugee as we fed those meals to unhoused military veterans on Thanksgiving, and they said they hadn't had hot meals in weeks and thanked us. We followed that up by coming back to Kansas City, and we held a rally for Kevin Strickland the weekend before he was let out of prison, and we brought the National Organization for Exonerees down to speak on his behalf. We've continued this. We're now working to make sure that people know about Medicaid access. As many of you know, 275,000 Missourians qualify for Medicaid through Medicaid expansion, but after the Republicans blocked it, they didn't fund telling people that they qualified. So you may not see my ads on Facebook, and it's likely that you don't qualify for Medicaid, but people who qualify for Medicaid are seeing my ads because last week we helped 2,000 people sign up for Medicaid. This is the path forward. The path forward is by building trust. I'm a fourth generation Missourian, and I want my son to be the fifth generation to want to grow up here. But having graduated from Washington University in St. Louis with my undergraduate, my MBA, I watched all of my friends leave Missouri, every single one of them. They went to progressive cities. They went to Chicago and Austin and Denver and San Francisco, and places that valued them for who they are, not the color of their skin, their sexual orientation, or how much money that they have. If we don't get to a point where we honor the background of everyone here, where we honor the body of people who can become pregnant, where we treat each other with respect and dignity, and where we help one another, we will never take this state back, we will never take this country back. So that is what we have to do. We have to come together. We have to find a way to take the message that we have, which is that Democrats want your life to be better. And instead of just talking about it, we have to do it. Because this is the show me state. And people expect that of us. They expect us to live our values and to show it every day. And that doesn't mean we just show up for advertising. And so that's why I am proud today. This is the first group I've said this to. When I win the primary, 10% of everything I bring in the general will end up staying in this state to build infrastructure. We know that candidates in a general election for a Senate race bring in between $14 and $140 million. That means that we will have more than $1 million and hopefully more than $10 million to continue to build democratic infrastructure in our state. And I have to tell you, we have never needed it more than we do now. Manny painted a picture was very, very positive. But I've got to tell you, when you go across the state and you speak to people, it's not always positive. People look at Democrats as people who have horns on their head and people who want to kill their babies, take their guns. It's up to us to go out and knock their doors, to get to know them, and to make their lives better so they know that we share the same values, because we do. We're just not good at communicating it yet, but we're getting better. And we do it by living those values. That's my promise to you, is you will know exactly what you're getting every single day of this campaign, every single day that I represent you in Washington, D.C. My name is Spencer Toder. I appreciate your vote.
Mr. Kelly.
Thank you. My name is Jewel Kelly, and I am running for the U.S. Senate. I am an Air Force veteran. I spent 10 years in the Air Force. I joined right after September 11, 2001. I am also the oldest of 18 brothers and sisters by the same parents. And praise be to God. I was the first to go to college, graduate college, become a military officer. And because of that, 17 of my siblings went to college. The 17 that went to college, I'm here to talk about the one that didn't. Because the one that didn't was born blind. She could never walk, she's never been able to talk. She wasn't expected to live past the age of 5 months. But my dad had a union paid job. And even though we were dirt poor, I mean, we were dirt poor. I grew up in a single wide trailer, 10 foot wide by 50 foot long. 16 of us in there. But because my dad had a union paid job, he had great health care. And because he had great health care, my younger sister was able to make it past those 5 months. And I'm proud to announce that she is alive today, 27 years.